Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, I know there's more fear out. I'm hearing it in the live stream. I'm hearing it in comments. I'm seeing it from other people. But I have this is one stream you don't want to miss, because what's really going on behind the scenes will shock you. Bitcoin supply is draining fast. So I don't want you guys to be fooled. And that is what I'm going to be talking about today. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. I hope you guys are doing good today. I know there's more fear, although the fear index is showing that we're around the same places last night. But let's do this. Let's talk about what is going on with Bitcoin today. Well, Bitcoin is down slightly, about 2,000 down versus this point at yesterday, I guess, at the same time yesterday. But why is that? Well, I mean, people are speculating it's because of this. Evergrande finally defaulted on 2 bond payments, one from last month, which they had a 30-day grace period to pay, which they did not, and this month's, right? So now people are wondering what's going on. If you look at the U.S. equity market, you'll realize, well, it's about flat. Today's not actually like a bad day. In fact, Dow turned up into green. So it started negative. Now it's actually coming back. And today is actually a pretty good day, because look at this headline. You know, I was quite surprised. Weekly jobless claims falls to the lowest level in more than 52 years. 52 years. So this is actually really good news. But why did the market start out red? Well, because of Evergrande FUD, right? But here's the thing. If you're looking at what's going on in China, it seems like they are caving in. Before, it seemed like China wants to be hands-off, let Evergrande fall, and just be done with it. But now they're realizing we can't because it looks bad. So it looks like they want to step in and take control, which is why it seems like this news is not as bad as it seems. Just like before, when this was blown up, there was a lot of talks about how this would be the next Lehman Brothers. It's not. They're not a bank. It has nothing to do with banking, right? And we know China wants to save face. They don't want to cause a next global meltdown. Not that it would, but they're going to try to do what they can to kind of bury this. But this is the big thing that came out today, why, you know, things are a little bit off to a shaky start. But this really does not matter. And that's because of what's going on with Bitcoin supply. Okay? Bitcoin supply ultimately is the biggest factor when it comes to Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin is scarce. There's a set limit. And as you take more and more supply out of circulation, that's how price goes up, right? Number of holders increase and the supply decreases. So a couple things I want to show you guys. And Muzzy here, and I found him randomly, but he really summed it up really well with a couple of charts. Number one, a liquid versus liquid supply. And I've shown this before, but this has been updated, and it shows that the gap is widening. And why is this relevant? Because a lot of people think that what we're seeing now is very similar to April, May of this year, when Bitcoin hit 64,000 and came down all the way to 28. And this shows it is not the same. Nowhere close of being the same. A liquid supply is measuring the number of Bitcoins basically off the exchanges, held by you and I, whales, institutions, off the exchanges in cold wallets or custodian wallets or wherever it may be. But basically the supply has not moved for quite some time, and it is not being traded. And if you look back in May, when Bitcoin fell, yeah, that liquid supply went down because people actually sold. People transferred them into the exchanges and started selling off. But you could see ever since May and June, you could see that red line keeps going up. Even now, when Bitcoin's price has come down from 68 down to where we are, about 40 something thousand. That red line continues to go up. And there's reason for that, because many are buying, and they continue to buy and continue to hold. And there are some examples I'm going to show you in a little bit, but this shows you how we're very different than even May of this year, because of course, whenever Bitcoin has some kind of correction, people start speculating whether or not we had a top and whether or not this could be prolonged and whether or not this bull run is over. And the answer to all that is no. And this shows you clearly. And if you didn't believe this, well, just take a look at this. This is what I put on the thumbnail. Again, this measures reserves, Bitcoin reserves. And you could see back in May, when I just showed you the previous chart, where liquid supply went up because people were moving their Bitcoin back in exchanges to be sold. Well, look at this. This proves that. In May, you could see how Bitcoin supply went up tremendously. But look at what has happened now. Even though Bitcoin's price has come down, the reserves of Bitcoin keeps falling and falling drastically. And that means there's a lot of buying going on behind the scenes. And now, some of you guys always ask me this because you may be new. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. If so many whales are buying Bitcoin, why is the price not going up? Well, almost all of this is being done through OTC, the over-the-counter market. And basically, it's a market where it's P2P. You have one large whale selling to another large whale. Okay, this is how MicroStrategy buys their Bitcoin. This is how Tesla bought their Bitcoin. This is how a lot of these big institutions and whales, this is how they buy. Because when they want to buy, they don't want to cause price to go up. They want to be flat. They want to just buy at a certain amount and be done with it, right? So this shows you there's an enormous amount of buying going on behind the scenes. And that is why the supply is dropping, and that is why the liquid supply is going up, and that is why right now what we're seeing with our volatility is a giant fake out. It's a giant fake out made to make you think that Bitcoin hit another top and we may not have a bull run and how we're not going to continue on. This is one giant fake out to fool you, so do not be fooled. This is data. This is concrete data, facts about what's going on with Bitcoin supply right now. Okay, so this shows you very clearly that there is still a lot of buying going on, and why you should not be fooled by the recent price action, because it's just one giant shakeout right now. All right, now speaking of large buys and whales, guess who announced another huge purchase? MicroStrategy purchased 1,400 Bitcoins, $82 million, roughly at 57,500. I had to do a double take on this. I'm like, did Michael Saylor purposely buy Bitcoin at almost 10,000 above the price, the current price? Well, if you actually read this, which most people don't, and most people didn't even catch that. If you read through the comments, people just think, oh, it's business as usual. They didn't even catch that is 9,000 more than what a Bitcoin costs now, okay? And if you read through this, it shows that they bought this sometime between November 29th and December 8th. Now, they put a time frame, which is weird, which means that they could have been accumulating during this time, right? Or they just purchased at some point within this week, and that is why that average is so high, right? But to me, Michael Saylor is the ultimate DCAer and holder. He does not care. In fact, I think purchase like this helps him from a tax perspective, because now he could claim $9,000 loss on these 1,400 Bitcoins, because the tax accounting rules for corporate is just really messed up for Bitcoin. But anyways, it doesn't matter, because he continues to buy more, and now MicroStrategy owns 122,478 Bitcoins, right? So one example of a whale, this is a good whale, one that's on our side, that continues to buy more and take Bitcoin off from the supply take it off from a circulating supply. Yes, it keeps happening. And here's another one. Third biggest Bitcoin whale buys another whopping 2,700 Bitcoins. That's double of what MicroStrategy just purchased, right? So you're seeing this a lot, time and time again. But more so now, you're seeing these whales are increasing their buys. They're increasing because they know what's coming. And that is why the reserves are just not dropping a little bit. They're diving down now. And that is exactly what's happening. This is why you don't want to be fooled, right? All right. Now, besides these big whales, what else is going on? Well, Cathie Wood, big Bitcoin supporter, continues to believe that big money investors, they're going to make Bitcoin go up as high as $500,000, okay? 10x from here, which is not unreasonable to think about. Bitcoin has to reach about 600,000 to equal the market cap of gold. So, can I do it? Certainly. How soon? We don't know. Maybe next cycle, right? Maybe it takes 2 cycles. But eventually it's going to get there. But Cathie Wood, she is a big believer. And she talks to a lot of companies, a lot of institutions that I talk about. And she has said time and time again, a lot of them have a lot of interest in Bitcoin. A lot of them have interest in displacing their gold for Bitcoin. And that's why she can make a claim like this. And she has a lot of researchers also showing a lot more fancy data that also indicate the same thing. So that's pretty positive. What else is there? Well, U.S. lawmakers. So this is also positive. It's always good to have Congress people have Bitcoin in their pockets because it's only going to help our case. But there is another congressperson, Marie Newman, that bought about anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 worth of GBTC, in addition to $215,000 in Coinbase. So this is not direct buying of Bitcoin, but it's definitely getting more Bitcoin exposure. That's for sure, right? And we know a lot of Congress people, they do own crypto. They do own Bitcoin. So this is very positive to have some of them on our side, right? All right. Now, outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? There's just a few pieces of news that's pretty positive overall. Right now, Polygon, they're having their Polygon ZK day. I've been hyping this up for a few days now. Polygon has been making a big deal about ZK, which is ZK Snarks, a technology for not only scaling, but also for privacy. And they already announced a big acquisition. This new startup, Mir, was acquired by Polygon for $400 million. And the thing is, they acquired them when Matic was at $1.60. Now it's above $2. So they actually paid, it's at $2.14. So they actually paid a lot more than $400 million. It's more like $600 and $700 million. And what this is just a brand new startup that's focused on ZK scaling. And I think this is precursor to something else bigger, because I'm just speculating here and we'll see. The day is still young. Vitalik has been talking about using ZK Snarks for scaling. And he just kind of really out of the blue kind of started saying that. And Vitalik is also talking at this Polygon conference. So maybe one and one together, you put it together, maybe something's going to be announced. I don't know. But I think Polygon paid this much for a new startup for a reason. Now, if nothing gets announced, that's fine. Polygon could utilize this for other means, but I do think there's more coming to this. You gotta put 2 and 2 together, right? So this is why Polygon has been doing very well the past week or so, and we'll see what else comes out from this. All right, other news: Avalanche, they get one of their big startups chosen for MasterCard's crypto accelerator. MasterCard is getting involved with crypto companies. They chose to support Ava Labs, which is built within Avalanche's ecosystem. It's a company that's focused on DeFi products. So this is pretty good overall, not only for Ava Labs, but also for Avalanche. And of course, Avalanche, just like Terra, just like Ethereum, also burns their tokens. Not to the same extent as the other two, but slowly and surely, every single block, a little piece of Avalanche gets burned, and that helps them overall. What else is there? Coinbase. I didn't even know this, but Coinbase does have, Coinbase has several things. Obviously, they have their exchanges. They have Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. Pro is like the trading platform. But they also have a mobile wallet called Coinbase Wallet, which is a non-custodial wallet. It's basically the same as a trust wallet. You can install dApps in there. You can access Uniswap. You can access SushiSwap. You can access a lot of apps. You can store your NFT collections in there, right? So that's actually a pretty good wallet. But what I didn't know is Coinbase also has a wallet for browsers, which is a MetaMask competitor. And now they're integrating with Ledger because they want to add that extra layer of security, which MetaMask does not offer. MetaMask does not integrate with the likes of Ledger or Trezor or anyone else. There's also no 2FA. The only thing is you have a seed phrase or recovery phrase that you better secure because that's the only thing that's really protecting it. Well, now Coinbase is trying to go above with their Coinbase wallet for browsers. You can soon connect it up to your Ledger so that the transfers are directly from your Ledger, and it's a lot more secure that way. And I think that's a pretty good add-on, although I never heard of this wallet before. So everyone from browser-based uses MetaMask or, what's the other one? The one for Polygon, I totally forgot. I'll think of it, or maybe one of you guys will mention it. Wait, people are saying MetaMask does support Ledger? I never knew that. Okay, I'm wrong. I take that back. I did not know that feature, so I take that back. You guys are right. All right, what else is there? What's up? Starts testing currency payments with Meta's Nova wallet. So Meta, aka Facebook, is not giving up. Recently, one of their main guys, I take that back, not the main guy, the guy that's leading the crypto efforts of Meta has stepped down. Basically, their new Dem coin is just shut down, and many speculated that their whole project was going to be shut down by Mark, but it turns out that is not the case. So they're actually testing this already. So if you're a WhatsApp user, you could start, some people, it's not for everyone, it's in beta, you could start sending payments, crypto payments, with other WhatsApp users starting today. So they are not giving up. And who knows if the Department of Justice or anyone else, the SEC or CFTC or any other regulatory body, whether or not they're going to step in and put a stop to this, because they basically got no approval, which they don't really need to get approval other than the fact that they are Facebook. And there's a lot of controversy about privacy and how they handle data from users, and they were basically told to shut down their project, yet they're continuing forward. So we'll see what comes of this. We will see what comes of this. All right, that's pretty much it. Overall today, guys, I know today's like a scary day for some of you guys, and whenever Bitcoin comes down, doesn't do well, it gets scary. I get that, right? And today I think the scare is coming from Evergrande FUD. But overall, China will take care of this, and the equities market is recovering from it. So that's a foreshadow of what may coming, right? That we're going to get a reversal, and people will realize, well, it's not so bad, and we're actually having some good data. But ultimately, what I really want to show you guys is that the whales are buying up. This is just a giant shakeout, in my opinion, right now. I know a lot of people have turned bearish, and I know it's natural to think that way. But when you look at the data, you look at why liquid supply is going up and why reserves are dropping, you got to put two and two together. This is happening because there's a lot of buying going on behind the scenes, probably via OTC, just like MicroStrategy is purchased, right? And why do they continue to buy more and accelerate their buying? They're not slowing down. This is accelerating. So you got to put two and two together, which means that they're anticipating that Bitcoin is about to run. And maybe it's going to run past 2021 and go into 2022. Maybe this is a precursor of what's to come, right? While we're in this giant shakeout. But I do believe Bitcoin will come back. and we'll come back much, much stronger. This is definitely not time to be giving up. All right. With that said, before Q&A, I do have a new sponsor, but I have a good lead-in. I have a good lead-in. You know why? Because just got done talking about Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. Guess what? His sister decided to be a spokesperson for one of the oldest exchanges out there, Okcoin. And before you say, oh, you know, they're two apples from the same tree. Well, Randy Zuckerberg, she actually left Facebook a long time ago because she actually didn't agree with what Facebook was doing, and she started to do her own thing, right? She even founded an institute educating business leaders, entrepreneurs, and students. And now she's a representative of Okcoin, and in fact, with this announcement, they're going to try to make Okcoin more female friendly. 50% user base by 2025, and the exchange is going to commit $1 million towards that. So that's pretty positive. But overall, what is Okcoin? One of the oldest exchanges out there since 2013. Fully regulated in the US, and not many exchanges could say that. Fully regulated in the US. And also they recently got a license in Malta too. So they're not only in the US, but worldwide. Many countries are supported, and you are able to get on and trade. And with the exchange, of course, they have many different ways to trade. They have their mobile apps. They have mobile apps on Apple App Store and Google. Also, they have their terminal, which you could do straight from your browser, right? And they have a ton of coins that you can use and trade. And they have fiat on-ramping too. That's a big thing for those of you guys that want to utilize your USD. You want to get rid of that trash, that you can utilize it to buy crypto on Okcoin. They're also meant for institutional investors as well. They have the pro trading tools. They have a lot of advanced features, but they also make it really easy for anyone to get in. Also, to cater to normal people that may be discouraged by the fact that Bitcoin is so high, they are also the ones that just introduced Sats mode. So you could actually buy Sats rather than set it 0.00001 Bitcoin. You could set, I want 1,000 Sats, or I want 2,000 Sats. You could actually enable that mode, and I think that's actually pretty brilliant. I haven't heard of any other exchange doing that. And of course, you could earn as well. In fact, you can earn Miami Coin. They are the only US regulated exchange that offers Miami Coin, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it before. But also, you could also stake and deposit and earn a lot of interest in many, many other crypto out there. And there's some that's quite impressive. Synthetic and Yearn, 104%. That's actually a lot there. All right, so that's Okcoin. So if you want to check out the exchange, you want to learn more, click the URL in the description of this video. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Now, let's do some Q&A. Dynamic Serb says December. All right, let's cool off with the doomsday predictions here. Let's keep in mind that it is only 9th. It's only December 9th. We still have basically 3 weeks left of this month, right? We could have some up and downs, yes, but overall, things are improving. The Omicron variant turns out to be a nothing burger. So far, unless there's more that's coming but basically everyone's saying it's a very mild variant. It spreads fast, but it's mild. So that's good. You know, the Evergrande, I think we're going to get past this. And you know what? Things are, all the FUD that's out there, right? Slowly dissipating. So just got to live through it. Brack says, wait for the Cadena wallet. Yes, I agree. That's why I'm a big fan of CADX. That's what they're working on. One of the things they're working on a full-fledged AMM, but one of the things they're working on is a really good browser-based wallet. So I think that's what they're really needing right now. Some good old-fashioned wallets and support from existing wallet makers. All right, scrolling up there. What else is there? A lot of Cardano fans. People are still loving Cardano. I mean, Cardano, you know what? It is what it is right now. It's not moving. It is not moving. But we need more. We need to see more. We need to see Sunday Swap being fully operational and complete. And we need to see more than Sunday Swap. We need to see everything else, all the other DEXs come out with their own. And we need to see some more usage of their smart contracts, right? For example, their metaverse world, Pavia. And we need to see more NFT marketplaces that's coming out, right? So we need to see more of that. VVS Finance, everyone keeps asking about VV Finance. I really want to know who is shilling that project. It's like every day someone's talking about it. I bet it's one of the influencers that comes before me that keeps talking about it. But I will promise to look into it. And if it's promising, I will talk about it. But I don't like the fact that so many people is talking about it. It makes me wonder if it's one of those hyped up projects that is ready to dump afterwards. So there you go. Thoughts on Mina protocol? Mina is Mina. They're just they're layer 1, promising totally different, a blockchain basically all based on snapshots, which is why they're very small, but they still have problems they need to figure out. Tim, here's what you don't get. And this is what everyone argues, because everyone thinks they're a genius when it comes to Bitcoin pricing. Tim says, price will be going up if whales buying so much. Supply and demand, simple economics. Here's the thing what you don't realize. The price that you see is basically from the order books on the exchanges. That's it. If you do a transaction, let's say you sell a Bitcoin to your friend for $100,000. Hey, he agrees to buy it. Does that change the price of Bitcoin? No, because it's a P2B connection and it has nothing to do with the order books. Even if you sold him $100 million worth of Bitcoin at $100,000, does that affect the order book? Does that affect the price that you see on the exchange? No, it does not. That's how OTC works. OTC is basically two people selling to each other, and it's done off the books. Now, you may be wondering, well, if they keep doing that, how will it ever help Bitcoin? Well, think about it. As the exchange reserves keeps dropping like it is, eventually it's get to a point where, well, it's really, really scarce on exchanges. And the OTC market could dry up because there are some whales that will basically just keep buying and never sell, right? So supply does matter. It takes time, but realize that this price does not account for the 80% of Bitcoin that is off the exchanges, and they're either being held or they're being traded, and that does not affect this price. That's the reason why, Tim. So I've explained that many times in the past, and I know a lot of you guys are new, but I hate to keep explaining it, but that's the reality. That's the reality. That is why the reserves dropping in exchanges is a big deal. It's a big, big deal. And the further it drops, the more it drops, well, that's going to cause that scarcity, right? And it becomes harder and harder to buy, and that's what drives the prices up. All right. There's something hidden I can't read. All right. Let's see. What else is there? Can you look into B-Rise? Bitrise? What is this? The fastest growing crypto organization? Yeah. No. When you go to a project and the very first thing is like a lie, and then the second thing is buy with credit card right there, you usually want to get off the project ASAP. Those are red flags right there. All right, what else is there? Thoughts on Meta Legends? Crypto Cocktail, I have no idea. It sounds like a play to earn game, but I have no idea what it is. So I will put that on the research list if it's good. It doesn't have to show up. Yeah, I don't know Crypto Cocktail. All right. Tyler said, I noticed you didn't do DCA. I totally forgot, Tyler. I will do so tonight. I totally forgot. Today actually ends up being a better day than yesterday. Ivan says, I've been DCA into AVAX and yield farming with a good move. Doesn't feel right now. Don't question yourself. If you like a project, stick with it. And I do like Avalanche. All right. What do you think about Aave? It's the worst performer this year. Should I sell and take the loss, roll into something? Well, that's an interesting question, Matt, because if you do sell, take a loss for a deduction, you can offset some of your gains. But, you know, Aave has been up and down. Earlier this year, it shot up a lot. Then they came down. They shot up a lot, and then they kind of came down. So it's basically all like DeFi lending plays like Aave have not done well. Like Aave and Compound, and you could throw Maker in there. You could throw Venus in there. These like decentralized lending plays, they're just not doing well right now. So that doesn't mean they're out, but the money has flown into other niches, and they could be flowing back because that's what happened to Aave earlier this year too. They were really stagnant, and then they had a huge rise. Then they came down and had a huge rise again, and now they're just kind of coming down and hovering. ENS is interesting. It's a utility. I just don't know. It's buying, Ethereum domain names, but I don't know if you need a token. That's the thing. It seems like that's kind of like threw it out there. I need to do more research in terms of why, because they've been around for a while. I just don't know why they actually released a token, whether or not that's really needed. Holoride from Elron. Well, I know they have a partnership with Audi, and it's gonna bring like cool augmented reality and possibly car tracking, right? Data tracking, I should say. I don't know enough about it, but it is having IDO. What's my estimation for Cycles BTC peak? I don't know. I still think end of December we're gonna have a really good run, but whether or not we get that lengthening cycle, I think that's a real possibility. But I don't know exactly. I can't tell you, okay, it's going to peak in March or peak in May. I don't think anyone can tell you that. People are guessing, but no one can truly tell you that. So the only way is to prepare yourself. Make sure you have cash on the side. Make sure as we go higher, which we will, start taking profits, build up that cash portfolio so that when we do have that peak, you would have locked in a lot of gains, and if we come down, then you're able to take advantage. So that's what I plan on doing. What if it turns out we're entering a bear market? Does that mean the anticipated parabolic altcoin season won't happen? Yes, Lisa, that's exactly what it means if we are entering a bear market. Oh shoot, I'm missing a lot here. All right, hold on. Thoughts on VeChain? No thoughts. I like the project, but there's no additional thing to talk about. BTC, BTT with their latest announcement, I have no idea, but whatever they announce, unless it's to be out of the Tron ecosystem, it really doesn't matter because Tron is basically screwing up anything in their ecosystem. Super quantity platforms, uniquely, okay, I don't know about it, so can't talk about it. All right, what else? Last few questions. What will happen to layer 2 solutions of Polygon and Immutable X when Ethereum 2.0 comes out? It really depends on if they could build out their ecosystem. Immutable X is starting to, but Polygon has a huge ecosystem. So if they could build out their ecosystem, then it'll be just fine, right? But afterwards, after Ethereum 2.0 comes out and they could scale, that still takes some time. But after Ethereum could scale, then they really need to determine how they're going to be different if scaling is not going to be an issue. And that is why they're both building out their ecosystem. Hedera's making some big moves. Okay, glad to hear it. If Solana has faster TPS than Avalanche, then how does Avalanche compete? Because faster TPS really means nothing, first of all, right now, Matthew, if no one is actually utilizing it, right? All these other chains, including Avalanche and others, they have more than enough TPS to handle their workload for many, many years. And there's also different solutions that you could come up with to scale even further. There are chains that's even faster than Solana. There's chains that can do, 1 million transactions per second. You got, at some point, it becomes meaningless, at least right now. If they support the next Facebook and they need to handle millions of transactions per second, then yes, it becomes relevant again. But right now, all that speed means nothing. For a case in point, like Cadena could scale 720,000 transactions per second, which blows Solana away. But are they using 720,000 transactions per second? No, right? So at some point, you just have to know that, okay, congestion is not an issue, so it's good. All right, people are asking about the same questions about VeChain and HoloRide. I don't know too much about HoloRide other than it's a partnership with Audi. I don't know if it's good to get into. People are still talking about trying to shill VVS. Too many people are shilling VVS. I bet I do research on VVS. I'm going to say get away from it. Because there's just way too many people trying to shill that. Franco says, Mt. Gox remains the scariest ghost in the corner. Do you think they'll open at FUD of this year? It won't be this year. It'll be next year. And even then, there's no guarantee of when it's actually going to get distributed. Last time I heard, there's no set date on when to redistribute. So it could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be another 2 years, right? But I do agree with you. Once they do release to users, we definitely need to pay attention to it. But right now, no one knows when that's coming. Let's see. Do you think ADA will hit $1 before it hits $3? I don't know. I would say, okay, I'm going to say this as a, if I had to, bet based on chances, ADA probably hits $1 before it hits $3. It has a better chance of that. Will it happen? No. Am I bearish on Cardano? No. But you're asking that question to kind of make me look bearish on it, but I don't. The only reason why I say that is because who knows? Maybe Bitcoin does fall back down to 42,000 again. I mean, we just hit that recently, right? Even then, does not mean that Bitcoin's run is over. It just means that the shakeout is just bigger. But if that happens, can Cardano hit $1? Sure. We recently went below. People told me Cardano picked up for $1. Will ETH solve the gas problem? Somewhat. It's a stepping stone. They still need to integrate sharding to completely solve it, but it's a stepping stone. Chris, thank you. I don't know too much about quant to share with you, so can't really talk about it. All right, guys, that is it. Overall, Bitcoin fell down a little more to 47.7. Yeah, so basically this red line right here, right, the one I drawn out, this has been kind of like where Bitcoin is straddling, right? A couple times here it looked really iffy and then kind of came back. Same thing over here. I kind of expect the same for this, but I do know whatever may be happening right now due to whatever FUD that's out there, Bitcoin will come through. And what's going on right now is there's a lot of buying going on behind the scenes via OTC market, and that is the main thing to concentrate on. Okay, we are in one giant shakeout right now, so don't be fooled, because this is exactly what's happening. The liquid supply is going up, and reserves are dropping. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash all the likes, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.